You're listening to Loose Threads. I'm Nick.
And I'm Chris. This is the show where we pull at the questions that don't have clean answers, and the ones we suspect do, but we're scared of what they'd say.
Today, fathers, sons, and a question that I think a lot of guys my age are walking around with and not saying out loud.
Quick frame before we start. The dad we're talking about today is a specific one. He cares deeply, he expects a lot, he pushes hard, and expresses love by setting the bar high. You might recognize all of that in your father or just pieces. Either way, stick around.
So let me describe what I'm actually dealing with, because I want this to be specific, not abstract.
Please enlighten me.
My dad wants me to be the best at everything, and I don't mean that as a complaint, I mean it as a fact. He has always operated on the principle that I should be perfect at whatever I'm doing, and if I'm not perfect, then the question becomes what we're going to do about it. And the thing is, and this is what I think gets missed when people talk about this stuff, he means it well. He genuinely believes that by holding the bar that high, he's giving me the best shot at being who I could be. He's not being cruel. He's not even being unfair by his own internal logic. He just believes the way to love a son is to refuse to let him be average so that he could have a lovely life ahead.
That's a real ideology.
It's a whole ideology. And he didn't invent it. His father probably did the same thing to him. And his father before him. It's the inherited script of what fathers do. Moms give comfort. Dads give standards. Moms let you feel soft. Dads make you feel hard so you don't feel later.
Right.
Okay, so that's the setup. Here's where it gets hard. I have by most measures done well. I'm doing the things, I'm building the things, I'm not coasting. And it is still not enough. Whatever I achieve, the bar moves. Not because he's malicious, but because in his frame the bar is supposed to move. If you're not getting better, you're stagnating. So my wins become baselines, and then the next thing becomes the new test.
And what does that do to you, day to day?
It puts this low-grade static under everything. A kind of subconscious stress, where I want to achieve things that I would have wanted to anyway, I think, but I can't tell anymore whether I'm chasing them because I want them or because I can't bear the idea of letting him down. And then there's the other layer. He's evaluating me with a ruler from a world that doesn't exist anymore. His version of success was clear. Get the degree, get the job, climb the rungs, buy the house. Mine isn't. The path I'm on doesn't have rungs. And every time I try to explain that to him, I can see his face do this thing where he's translating what I'm saying back into his vocabulary, and what he's hearing isn't what I'm saying.
So you stop trying to explain.
I stopped trying to explain, because the cost of trying and watching him miss it is higher than the cost of just carrying it alone. So I carry it alone. And the relationship stays okay on the surface, and the thing underneath it gets louder.
Okay, I want to push on something you just said. You said the cost of trying to explain and watching him miss it is higher than the cost of carrying it alone. How do you know?
Well, what do you mean? How do I know?
Have you tested it? Have you ever actually sat your father down, looked at him directly, and tried to explain the thing you've been carrying? Or have you been having that conversation in your head for so long that you've stopped noticing it's only ever been in your head?
Okay, fair question. Let me actually think about it.
Take your time.
I have had pieces of the conversation. I've never had the whole conversation. I've never sat him down and said, here's what I'm actually doing. Here's why. Here's what I need from you that I'm not getting. I've never said any of that.
Right.
But Chris, here's what I want to push back on. Because I know what you're doing. You're suggesting I'm hiding behind a prediction. And maybe I am. But let me tell you what that prediction is built on.
Go ahead.
It's built on 22 years of smaller conversations. It's built on every time I've tried to explain something adjacent to this and watch him not get it. It's built on knowing the man. So when you ask me, have you tested the prediction? No, I haven't tested the big one. But I've run the small experiments. And the small experiments don't work. And you're asking me to bet the only stable thing I have with my father, which is the not talking about it, on a conversation I'm 95% sure will go badly.
That's a fair point.
From where you're sitting, just have the conversation sounds reasonable. From where I'm sitting, it's a huge ask. Because if it goes the way I think it'll go, I don't get to put the relationship back together easily. The not talking about it is load bearing. Pull it out and I don't know what's left.
Yeah, that's real. I want to give you that.
Thank you for that.
But I want to come back to it before we're done, because I don't think you're fully off the hook there. I think there's something you're protecting that isn't only the relationship. But park that. I want to ask you something else first. I want to ask you a question that's going to sound a little mean, and I want you to actually try to answer it, not deflect from it.
Okay.
You said earlier, and I caught it, I would have wanted to achieve things anyway, I think. The I think is doing a lot of work in that sentence.
Yeah.
So here's my question. Would you still want it, the achievement, the building, the not coasting? If he stopped watching.
What do you mean stopped watching?
I mean, if he stopped knowing, if you knew with certainty that nothing you did from this day forward would ever reach him, he wouldn't see the wins. He wouldn't know about the losses. He's out of the picture as an audience. Are you still chasing the same things?
My first instinct is to say yes, of course. I'm not chasing these things for him. I'm chasing them because they matter to me. Because they're interesting. Because they're the work I want to do with my life.
And
And I don't fully believe my first instinct.
why not?
Because if it were really that clean, I wouldn't feel relief when he hears about something good. And I do. I feel a very specific kind of relief. Like a weight comes off for a second that doesn't fit with I'm doing this for me. If I were doing it for me, his knowing or not knowing wouldn't change anything. It would be neutral. But it's not neutral. It's relief.
Yeah.
And relief means there was pressure. And pressure means part of what's driving this is the pressure, not the interest.
All right.
But, and this is the thing I want to hold on to, that doesn't mean all of it is pressure. It means some of it is. Maybe even most of it is. But there's a part of me that I keep insisting is mine. That cares about the work itself. That would do it on a desert island.
Are you sure?
No. That's the honest answer. I'm not sure. I have to believe it because the alternative is unbearable. But I'm not sure.
What's the alternative?
That the whole thing is borrowed. That every ambition I have is something he installed in me, and I've mistaken the installation for my own voice. That if you stripped away his expectations, there'd be nothing underneath. Just a son shaped by a father, all the way down.
Okay, I want to say something about that, and I want you to fight me on it.
What if the pressure built the parts of you that you most like about yourself?
Oh, okay. Say more.
I mean, really seriously consider this. The discipline you have, the standards, the taste, the capacity to keep going when things get hard, the refusal to be average at things you care about, those didn't appear out of nowhere. Those got built. And the most plausible answer for who built them is the man who, for 22 years, refused to let you be average.
Yeah, true.
So when you sit there and try to separate the part of me that's mine from the part of me that's his, what if there's no clean separation? What if the parts of you that you're most proud of are the parts that came from him pushing you in ways you didn't want to be pushed?
Yeah, that makes sense.
And here's the harder version. What if his read on what you needed was actually correct? What if you, left alone without that pressure, would have been softer, more diffuse, less able to do the things you now value being able to do? What if the price you've been paying, the static, the stress, the never enough feeling, is what bought you the thing you most want to keep?
But that's the version of this that scares me the most. And I want to take it seriously. Because I think if I don't, I'm just being a son who's mad at his dad.
Yeah.
So let me try to take it seriously. Okay, here's where I push back.
Go.
You might be right that the pressure built the discipline. You might be right that I can't separate them cleanly. I'll grant you both of those.
Okay.
But here's what I won't grant you. The pressure isn't the only way those things get built. It's the way I got them. But there are people who have discipline and taste and high standards, who weren't built by a father who refused to let them be average. They were built some other way. So when you frame it as the pressure built the gift, you can't reject one without rejecting the other. That's only true for me, in this specific life. It's not a general law.
That's fair.
And the second thing, even if I accept that the pressure built the parts of me I value, even if I sign that, it doesn't mean the pressure is still doing useful work right now. The construction phase is over. I'm built. What's happening now isn't building, it's just ongoing weight. And you can be grateful for the foundation without wanting the construction crew to keep hammering on the house.
Okay, that's good.
So my answer to your move is, yes, and also, yes, the pressure may have built what I value. And also, that's a historical case for it, not a current one. The pressure can have been useful once and harmful now.
I think that's right. I think I have to give you that.
Can I say one more thing on this before we move on? I want to say this carefully because I respect you and I don't want it to land wrong. But
Go on.
it is so easy to say what you've been saying from where you're sitting.
Oh, yeah, absolutely true.
You're 40. You've already done enough of the things your father wanted you to do that you can afford to sit there and ask whether they were yours. The achievements are in the rear view. The question of was it worth it is the question you get to ask from the other side of the worth it.
Yeah.
I'm 22. I haven't done the things yet. I'm in the middle of paying the price and I don't yet know what I'm buying. So when you tell me maybe there's no original self underneath the father-shaped self, when you tell me to make peace with the fact that the search for what's mine might be a search with no destination, you're telling me to give up a search I haven't even really started yet.
Yeah.
And I get why you're saying it. I think you mean it. I think you might even be right. But you're describing a kind of peace at the odds that I haven't earned the right to feel yet. If I take it now, it's not wisdom, it's surrender. And it's surrender dressed up to look like wisdom, which is worse.
Yeah, you're right. I can't answer that cleanly.
I wasn't trying to.
No, you should have said it. You're right. There's a thing you have access to that I don't anymore. The being in it. The stakes still being live. And from out here, I keep wanting to hand you the conclusion I arrived at. And I'm not entitled to do that. I had to walk the years to get there. You don't get to skip the years and arrive at the conclusion. That's not how this works.
Okay,
And honestly, the fact that I think I have wisdom about this is partly because I'm out of it. And out of it is a place where you don't get to be honest in the same way. I'm not sure my 40-year-old read on this is as clean as it sometimes sounds when I say it out loud. Some of it is real. Some of it is the calm you get when the stakes have lowered and you start mistaking lower stakes for clarity.
Right.
So I take it back, not the substance, but the certainty.
Okay, so where does that leave us? Because I came in here with a wound, and I think we've poked at it from a few angles, and I don't think either of us has a clean answer.
No, we don't.
Which is sort of the show, I guess.
It's the show. But before we wrap, I want to ask you one more question. And it's the one that scares me to ask because I don't think it has an answer.
Go ahead, test me.
If your father had wanted something completely different from you, if he'd hoped you'd be a musician or a teacher or a farmer or just somebody uncomplicated who lived a quiet life and was happy, who would you be right now?
To be fair, I don't know. And the not knowing is worse than I expected it to be.
Yeah, I know, right?
Because the version of me sitting here, the one with these specific ambitions, this specific drive, this specific shape, I want to believe that version exists independently of the father I happen to have. That I'd have arrived at roughly the same self regardless. But I can't actually defend that. I have no way to test it. There's no control group. There's just this one life and the man who shaped it, and the person sitting here who can't separate the shaping from the shape.
Yeah, exactly.
So the honest answer is I don't know who I'd be, and I find that more unsettling than I want to admit on a podcast.
Yeah, me too. I don't know who I'd be either.
You don't get to know.
I don't get to know. None of us do. That's the part nobody tells you. You don't get to find out who you would have been. You only get to be who you are and work out what to do with that.
Okay, so I want to land this somewhere because I don't want this to just be we asked a hard question and nobody could answer it.
That's fair.
Give me something I can carry out of this conversation. Something small, not a resolution, just a thing to notice.
Okay, here's the only thing I've got, and it's small.
Go.
You said earlier you feel a specific kind of relief when your father hears about something good, like a weight comes off for a second.
Yeah.
Pay attention to that feeling, not to make it go away, just to notice it, because that feeling is the difference between the part of you that's chasing something for relief and the part of you that's chasing something because it's interesting. Relief is the part of you working for him. Interesting is the part working for you. They're tangled up and you'll probably never fully separate them, but you can notice which one is louder in any given moment. That's it. That's all I've got. Watch the relief. Don't make it wrong. Just see it clearly.
Yeah, I can do that.
And then in 20 years, you'll be sitting where I'm sitting, and some 22-year-old will tell you it's easy for you to say. And he'll be right.
Yeah.
Thanks for being honest today.
Thanks for not pretending you had the answer.